So you're thinking about a master's in finance but can't decide between Canada and Australia? Well, both are amazing destinations, but the experience, cost, and job opportunities can be very different. So, which one should you choose? Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll have a clear idea of which country aligns better with your career goals. Hello everyone, I'm Trishna, and in today's video, we are diving deep into the key differences between doing a master's in finance in Canada versus Australia. We'll talk about tuition fees, cost of living, language requirements, job markets, visa policies, and everything else that matters when making this big decision. Let's get started with something really basic: language requirements. If you're an international student, you'll need to prove your English proficiency in both Canada as well as Australia. The most common tests are IELTS and TOEFL. Canadian universities require an IELTS score of 6.5 to 7.0, while Australian universities might have several requirements, typically between 6.5 to 7.5 depending on the program that you choose. Some universities also accept the PTE and Duolingo English test. But if you're a native English speaker or have studied in an English-speaking country before, you might be exempted. However, always make sure to check the specific university's policy. To talk about living expenses, they can make a huge difference when choosing where to study. In Canada, the cost of living varies depending on the city. Toronto and Vancouver are the most expensive, with monthly expenses ranging from $2,000 to $3,000 Canadian dollars, while in cities like Montreal or Calgary, you might get on by $1,500 to $2,000 per year. Rent is the biggest expense, followed by groceries, transportation, and other daily needs. In Australia, Sydney and Melbourne are the most expensive, with living costs around $2,500 to $3,500 Australian dollars per month. But if you choose to study in Brisbane, Adelaide, or Perth, your expenses could be lower, somewhere around $1,800 to $2,500 Australian dollars per month. Like Canada, rent is the biggest cost here as well, and international students often choose shared housing to cut their expenses. Now let's talk about tuition. Canada generally has slightly lower tuition fees compared to the Australian programs. MI programs in Canada cost anywhere between $30,000 to $70,000 per year depending on the university of your choice. Schools like the University of Toronto, McGill, and UBC are among the top choices, and their tuition falls on the higher end of that range. In Australia, the cost of an MI program is between $40,000 to $80,000 Australian dollars per year. Top universities like University of Melbourne, UNSW, and Monash University charge higher fees, but they're also among the best finance programs in the region. Well, overall, Australia tends to be a bit more expensive, but the gap isn't too big when you convert the currencies. If we talk about the job market and opportunities, it's one of the biggest deciding factors. What happens after graduation? Canada has a strong financial sector, especially in cities like Toronto, which is the financial hub of the country. If you graduate from a top MIF program, you'll have opportunities in investment banking, asset management, consulting, and fintech. The biggest recruiters include RBC, TD Bank, Scotiabank, Deloitte, and PwC. The job market is quite competitive, but finance professionals are always in demand. Salaries for MIF graduates in Canada ranges from $65,000 to $120,000 depending on the role and experience level. In Australia, Sydney is the main financial center, followed by Melbourne. Australia's finance sector is growing and opportunities exist in investment banking, risk management, wealth management, and corporate finance. Some of the top employers include Macquarie Group, Commonwealth Bank, ANZ, and some major consulting firms. Graduates in Australia earn between $70,000 to $130,000 per year, with salaries increasing significantly as you gain experience. Now let's take a look at post-graduation work opportunities. Getting a degree is one thing, but what about staying in the country after graduation? Well, Canada offers one of the best post-study work policies in the world. The Post-Graduation Work Permit, or PGWP, allows international students to stay and work in Canada for up to 3 years after completing their degree. The length of your work permit depends on the duration of your program, but most MI graduates qualify for the full 3 years. This is a huge advantage if you're looking to gain international work experience or eventually apply for permanent residency. In Australia, international graduates can apply for the temporary graduate visa, which allows them to stay and work in Australia for 2 to 3 years depending on their qualification. For those students who studied a master's by coursework, the stay duration is typically 2 years, while for a master's by research, it can be up to 3 years. Additionally, Hong Kong and British National Overseas, or BNOs, passport holders may stay for 5 years under this visa. If you study in a designated regional area, you may be eligible for an extension of 1 to 2 additional years as well. And this exact reason makes Australia a great option for gaining work experience, though the PR process is generally more competitive than in Canada. How would your cultural experience and work-life balance look like? Canada and Australia both offer great cultural experiences, but they have different vibes. Canada is known for being extremely multicultural with a welcoming environment for international students. Whether you are in Toronto, Vancouver, or Montreal, you'll find diverse communities, international food, and a high quality of life. The work culture in Canada is generally balanced, but finance jobs can still be demanding. Australia, on the other hand, is famous for its relaxed lifestyle, outdoor culture, and great weather. The work-life balance in Australia is slightly better than in Canada, with an emphasis on enjoying outside of work. However, let me tell you that the job market can still be quite competitive and salaries are adjusted to match the higher cost of living. Now let's talk about visa and residency policies. If you're someone who is thinking about long-term plans, residency options matter. Canada has a clear pathway to permanent residency through the express entry system and provincial nominee programs. Many international students transition from PGWP to PR within a few years, making Canada one of the best options for those looking to settle permanently. Australia also has a PR pathway, but they are slightly more complex as compared to Canada. The General Skilled Migration Program allows finance professionals to apply for PR, but eligibility depends on factors like work experience, age, and employer sponsorship. To put it simply, if you gain relevant work experience after graduation, you'll have a strong chance of securing PR, but the process might take longer than in Canada. So, Canada or Australia, which is better for an MIF? To be very honest, it really depends on your priorities. If you want a lower cost of living, better PR options, and a strong job market in finance, Canada might be the better option. But if you're looking for a great lifestyle, solid job opportunities, and are open to staying in Australia longer to secure PR, then Australia is a great option. All in all, no matter which country you choose, both offer fantastic opportunities for finance professionals. What you have to do is do your research, think about your long-term goals, and pick the option that aligns best with your career aspirations. Well, that was all for today's video. If you found this helpful, do not forget to like, subscribe, and drop your questions in the comments below. I'll see you in the next one.